Hey friends, welcome back to Growing Up Green. This week we'll be learning about the origins of another plant that we eat. This week it'll be basil. Here's one of my basil plants right here. Have you ever heard of basil before? Do you recognize the plant? I bet you would recognize the smell. Basil is a type of plant that we usually call herbs. They have strong smells and a strong taste, and we use them to help make our cooking extra yummy and extra flavorful. Basil is popular in a lot of different kinds of meals from all over the world. In Italian food like pizza and pasta sauce, pesto is made almost entirely of basil. It's also popular in Indian and Southeast Asian cooking, African dishes, European meals. People all over the world really love basil. But where did basil come from? And how did it get here? Well, most scientists think that basil originated in the wild in India and spread across the world from there. Like I said, it's very popular in Southeast Asia, and really most of Asia uses basil in cooking. It also spread to the Middle East, to parts of Africa, and to Southern Europe. The Greeks and the ancient Romans were very into basil. They had lots of stories and myths and legends for this little beautiful plant. In the 16th century, it started spreading north into the rest of Europe. Then, in the next century, it got brought to North America, where we live. It is a great plant, and it's easy to grow at home. I have a lot of different types of basil. There are so many options for you to grow. It's very easy to grow from seed, like I did with this plant. If you have a friend that has a basil plant, you can also take a cutting. All you need to do is get some sharp scissors with a grown-up's help and cut the basil plant with a few sets of leaves on it. Then you stick the stem in water like a flower and wait for it to grow roots. Then you can plant it in soil and have your own plant. Some of the different types that are available are sweet basil, like this kind, Greek basil, like this, which has tiny little leaves. Then there's purple basil, there's Thai basil, cinnamon basil, African blue basil. There are really an endless amount of varieties, so you should definitely try growing some at home and find your new favorite to use in cooking. In some other videos, we've talked about how plants have families, different groups of plants that they are closely related to. Well, basil's family is pretty amazing. It is called Lamiaceae. It's also known as the mint family, because guess what? Basil is a cousin of mint. It's also a cousin of many other culinary herbs that we like to cook with, like thyme, rosemary, sage, and lavender, all in the same family. A fun way to tell if a plant that you're looking at is in the mint family is to check out its stem. When I grab the stem of this basil plant, it is not smooth all the way around. It has corners because the shape of the stem, if you look at it closely, is a square. Also, almost every plant in the mint family has leaves that are opposite to each other on the stem. If you look carefully, you can see that there are points on the stem where leaves come out right across from each other. This is called opposite leaf arrangement. So if you find a plant that has opposite leaf arrangement and a square stem, there's a good chance you're looking at one of the mint family. But of course, the best way to tell if you're looking at a plant in the mint family is to smell it. The way that I really like to smell plants the best is to gently rub a leaf with my fingers and then bring my hand to my nose. And I can smell it really well. When you rub it gently with your fingers, you're getting the oils from the plant that give it its aroma. You're getting them on your hand so that you can smell it really easily. That way you don't have to bend down and stick your face near the ground when you're trying to smell a plant, which I've also done, but it's not as easy. So what do you think about basil, my friends? Do you love it already, or are you excited to try it in another recipe? Let me know if you grow some at home already, and what kind. And join me next week for another Growing Up Green. See you later.